Hello and welcome. So today what we are going to do is we are going to continue with our Active Directory introduction, and we will be going through different other options that we have. So if you remember, yesterday we installed Active Directory and we just created some organizational units. So today what we will do is we will just see some other options that we have. So if I click on Start, I have Windows Active Administrative Tools, and then I have Active Directory User and Computer. The shortcut to access Active Directory is dsa.msc. So dsa.msc is one of the shortcuts you can use, and press enter. It will basically do what? It will basically do the same thing for us. So dsa.msc is the same thing for Active Directory, and you can either access it from administrative tools or you can access it through that command. Alright, so you can see that my domain name is katie.local, and then yesterday we created some organizational units, and then this was our finance department. Then we had user, and today we will see how can we create groups. So why do we need groups? In most of the departments, you may have like 100 different users. So in here, like in finance department, we may have like 100 different users. So whenever you want to assign permission to those users, if you do it manually, it will be very hard, right? But if you create a group and make everyone member of that group, you can easily assign permissions. You can send email to multiple people at the same time, so you can manage your users in a good way. So in order to create a new group, you simply right click and say new, and then you have group option here. So in here, what I will say is finance users. Once you type the name, you have three different options in here. So you have domain local, you have global, you have universal, and then you have group type, security, and distribution. So domain local is just for your local domain, and then if you create a global is where you do not want to use it as a local and you want to use it with other domains. And then we have universal is if you want to actually use it in public, for example. So most of the times when you send an email to for example finance users, it basically do what? It basically sends it to everyone. But if I click on domain local, if you send an email from outside, it will not work because this is domain local only. But if you want to make it universal so that some people can actually send an email from outside, they can actually use it, you can make it universal. That's why you choose universal. And then you have security group and distribution group. Security group is used when you want to assign permissions. For example, you have a folder and you want to assign permissions to a specific department, then you can use security. Distribution is when you want to create email group. Email group meaning that whenever I send an email to finance users, it should send an email to everyone. That is where you use distribution group. So once you're done, simply press OK. Now our finance user group is created. If I right click on it and go to properties, you can see that I can change the name if I want. If you want to change the name, you can. And then you can simply add an email and description if you want to. But we don't have any email, that's why we will not do it. And we can make a distribution security group, so we can assign permissions. If I click on members, In here you will see all the members of this group. For example, I want to add Umaid as a member of this group. I can say Umaid, check name. You see, automatically it detected Umaid's name. Press OK, apply. Now Umaid is member of finance users group. Now Umaid is member of who? Member of finance user group. If you click on member of, now if you want to make this group member of another group, you can do that too. So you simply click on add and then advanced, find now. In here you can see that I have a lot of different groups. These are default groups. For example, I want the finance users to be able to take backups, to perform backups. I can choose backup operator group. Press OK, press apply. Now Umaid is member of this group. Umaid will be able to do what? Will be able to perform backup. He will be able to take backup, restore backup, and do all those things. So that's how you can basically make someone member of and make members and change the names here. So that's it. If I go to users, you can see that we have Umaid, which we created. I will right click. Right now you can see this icon because it is disabled. I will right click and say enable account. If I right click here, I can also make it, I can also add it to a group. I can also do what? I can also add it to a group directly from here. So instead of going here, I can directly do what? I can say right click, add to a group, and then I can say finance. That's it. The add to group was successfully completed. So this is a shortcut, right? If you want to add a user to the group, right click, reset password. For example, Umaid calls you and say, hey Kawa, my password is not working. Kawa will do what? Kawa will right click and say reset password. Reset password, and then assign the password. Once the password is assigned, user must change password at next logon. Press OK. That's it. Oh, okay, I didn't type the password correctly. It didn't match. That's why. So that's it. That's how you can reset a user password. Move. Umaid started a new role. Umaid is now working with what? Umaid is now working with HR department. Umaid is now working with HR department. You want to move Umaid to HR organizational unit. You can right click, say move, and then say Umaid, move Umaid to HR. You select HR, press OK. Now you see Umaid is moved to where? HR. That's how you move a user from one OU to another OU. Correct? Because Umaid is now working with HR. You want to move back, click on move, finance department, select users, press OK. Back, right? So now you are in the finance department. If I right click here, you can see I have a copy option. For example, I want to create another user with the settings that I have here. So right click. If I go here, properties, for example, office, finance, description, test, press OK, right? Now, if I right click here and say copy, and in here I say, for example, Kawa, AKHGAR, and Kawa is the username, for example, kawa at kd.local. Assign the password, Okay, I didn't type the password correctly. Finish, right? Now, if I right click and go to properties, you will see that what I basically did is I basically copied the attributes or copied the settings of Umaid, and I created what? I created Kawa's user. So you can simply create copy object. It's like copy and paste. So you can create other users if you want. So you don't have to do a lot of settings for the user. And then if I right click, all task, same thing. Reset, disable, add to group, same things are in here. Cut. If I cut a user, I can go to HR and I can say paste. Yes. It's like copy paste, cut paste. You cut a user from one place and move it to another place. That's how you can do it with a user. Correct? And then let's see what else we have. If I right click and go to properties, you can see that this is users properties. The very first tab that we have here is called general. On the general, you will see first name, last name, display name, description, office, telephone number. For example, if you have telephone number 915-855 random number, put the telephone number, and then Umaid at gmail.com. If you want to put website, this is like putting information about the user. If you want to put information about the user, this is how you do it. If you click on address, okay, Umaid is working for KT. Where is his office? Where is Umaid's office? 1011, for example, How Drive, California 95465. This is the, for example, address. So for example, Sacramento, state is California, zip code is 9565784. So that's how you can put information about what? About the user. So now you have more information. If you go now in here, you will know who is Umaid, what is his job, and where he lives. He lives on this street and this state, this city. More information you put about the user, it's much better. If you click on account tab, you have what? You have the user login name. You have user login name. So if you want to change, for example, Umaid says, I don't want o.john, right? I want john.o. You can change it here. You can change it here, but make sure that if Umaid already have data, email, all those things, you actually take care of. We usually don't do that. It's not a good practice to always change login names, but sometimes we do when we want to change our last name and so on. Unlock account. If your account is locked, sometimes when you type password, it says, sorry, you cannot log in. Your account is locked. So what you do is you select this and then click apply. It will unlock. When you will work in an office, you will always receive call. Hey Kawa, my account is locked. Can you please unlock? Kawa will unlock it like this. Select it, apply. It will be what? It will be unlocked. So you can change these settings. User cannot change password. User should not be able to change password. Password never expires. All those things. You see, if I click here, account is disabled. A smart card is required. These are different options that you can choose. Account expires. For example, Umaid is not a permanent employee. Umaid is working for us for 1 month only. So what can I do is I can come here and say the account should expire on 27th of February in 1 week. After 1 week, Umaid's account will expire and he will not be able to log in anymore. correct? He will not be able to log in anymore. Now, if I right click here, I go to properties again. So accounts and then profile, we will look into this. Telephones, if you want to put home phone number, mobile phone number, fax number, IP phone. IP phone is the Cisco phone. For example, if you remember, extension for 5544 is the extension, like extension number. Some companies have that. So these are different things. Job title, Umaid is IT manager, department is IT, company is KT. And who is the manager of Umaid? The manager of Umaid is, you can select from here, Kawa. Kawa is the manager of Umaid. Apply. Now you can see Umaid is IT manager. His manager is who? His manager is Kawa. Press OK. That's it. So that's how you can work with a user. If you want to delete a user, you simply right click and delete and press yes. Once you press yes, user deleted, gone. Not a good practice. We should not delete users. So that's how you can deal with the user's account. Let's look into the organizational unit properties. If I right click, you can see that I have same option: cut, delete, rename, refresh, move. If I click on properties, you can see that I can add description, I can add the street address, I can add city, and all those things as required. Managed by, for example, who is managing it? Who is the finance department? Like who's managing finance department? Umaid is managing it. Street, city, address, everything you can do what you can put in there. So those are all informations that you can actually put about the organizational unit. That was a basic introduction about Active Directory objects. Any questions you have?